What's happening, YouTube? Jonathan Pariente, the Execution 10 here, coming at you guys with another video. I want to ask you guys to please continue to check and subscribe to my channel for more YouTube videos. And today, Major League Baseball has begun spring training. Yankees are 3 games into the Grapefruit League season. Finally got their first win today. But unfortunately, the Yankees did not receive very good news, unfortunately, at the end of it. Luis Severino will be out for 2020. He will undergo Tommy John surgery following the forearm soreness he was having the other day. And this is already a big blow to the Yanks. It's already been a big blow to them already. They already are down James Paxton for about 3 months. Domingo Germán still has to serve the rest of his suspension. And now you have Severino out for the rest of the year after he missed most of last year. And I guess the question that I have for people, and I guess everybody's going to ask, is Severino had the lat injury and he had other various arm issues a year ago. Why did he even have to come back last year? I know, critical games, I get that, but you'd think the Yankees, were okay whether Severino was there or not for at least last year. Did they really need him to rush his way back? It's a lot of questions that I'm sure people are going to ask. Why did the Yankees rush him back, knowing that now he's going to be out for this year with the arm? It's a delicate thing. I mean, people like Severino who throw hard are going to run that risk of having an elbow or an arm injury and will need Tommy John. It's unfortunately, pitchers today are not conditioned the way they used to be from the 1950s, 60s, 70s. It's not like that anymore. So I guess what you have to ask yourself now is, well, how are the Yankees going to go from here? Already on 3 pitchers is rough. Not saying the Yankees are out of this. They still have a lot of youngsters in the farm. I'm sure the Yankees will be giving them a look. Luis Cessa is out of minor league options. Do the Yankees maybe have him start? Possibly. Jordan Montgomery, is he ready to start? We'll see. Then you have Deivi Garcia, young prospect. Maybe will we see him this year? It's a possibility. You have Mike King, who already has some experience under his belt. You have Clark Schmidt. He's another good arm out of there. And obviously now, if you look at all this, how big was it that the Yankees signed Garrett Cole now? How big was it that the Yankees are going to keep Jay Happ? At least you have some arms to get him through these couple of months until Paxton and Domingo Germán come back. Obviously, losing Severino is going to be very tough, no doubt about it. I'm curious if maybe the Yankees will even go back to what helped them a year ago. Do they go back to Chad Green being an opener? It worked pretty well for the Yankees back then. I can't see them doing that again. It's not going to happen. Green is going to go back to his role that he's accustomed to, and I think we should just leave it at that. But the Yankees are going to have to tread some water for a little while until their main guys come back. And this seems to have been a common story with the Yankees every year. And you have to wonder, new training staff are what's going on. The Yankees got rid of their last training staff with all the injuries they had last year. So it leads me to this. And I'm curious if Major League Baseball is ever going to do this. You already have the NFL trying to slightly extend more playoff teams, and maybe extend the regular season by a game, and maybe cut down on preseason games. Well, I got to ask this. Should Major League Baseball slightly cut down on the regular season? Should they cut down on spring training? It's a very good question to ask. I mean, you already are having a couple injuries before the regular season's even started, and we're only barely days into spring training. Not only did the Yankees lose a player, the Mets have lost J.D. Davis for an injury. We don't know how bad it is yet, but these are questions that I think need to be addressed. These are some decisions I think Major League Baseball has to make. Do we need to really play basically a month worth of spring training games, like roughly about 26 to 30 games or whatever it is for spring training? Does it really need to happen? Maybe you can cut the spring training in half a little bit, not play as many games. I'd say maybe about 15 games ain't bad. Maybe give everybody a couple days in between off to kind of rest up and get themselves kind of back into form. After all, baseball doesn't have too many off days throughout a 162-game season. Some teams have to play more games in a row than others. Some teams have to have a tougher road trip than others to start off the year, maybe middle of the year. But I will be very curious if Major League Baseball really does go through with deciding that. Maybe play fewer games. Maybe slightly tweak the division series to best of 7. They could definitely think about doing that. I don't approve of the other changes, though, that baseball's trying to do. This whole idea with having an automated strike zone. Why? This whole idea of putting a runner on base after a certain point in extra innings. Why? Make them earn their way on base. And now this whole rule that's going to start in 2020 this year that I'm not really happy about either. A pitcher has to face the minimum 3 batters, even if they don't have their stuff that night, if they can't throw a strike. So we're forced to keep them in the game who have no command, and they load the bases, nobody out, and now they have to bring in another guy after that, and he might lose the game there by throwing one mistake. There's going to be a lot of complaints probably about this decision going forward this year. And I wonder if the commissioner, he didn't have the balls to do any punishment on the Astros with maybe suspending them, taking a trophy away. Yeah, you got the manager and GM fired. Whoopee, for a year, whatever it is, suspension. But the players get off scot-free. Baseball might have some very, very dark times coming ahead. And we're going to see very soon where that's going. Let's see what happens. Jonathan Pariente, The Education 10, saying bye for now.